Something's happening inside number 10 that Keir Starmer did not see coming. A key figure at the very heart of his operation has suddenly walked away, and it's left Downing Street scrambling for answers. The official line sounds polished and professional, but when you look closer, the cracks begin to show. Let's break it down, but first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. Keir Starmer has been hit with yet another major setback at the heart of his Downing Street operation. His Director of Communications, Steph Driver, has unexpectedly resigned from her position just months after being appointed in March of this year. Now, on the surface, Downing Street is presenting this as a voluntary departure, insisting that Ms. Driver left of her own accord. But the timing and the wider pattern we're seeing within number 10 raises serious questions about what's really going on behind the scenes. Steph Driver wasn't just any staffer. She was brought in to run Starmer's communications machine, the vital arm of government that controls how the Prime Minister is seen by the public, how policy is presented, and how crises are managed. Her resignation so soon after stepping into the role is a shock, and one that Starmer's team will have to scramble to contain. Let's remember, she replaced Matthew Doyle, a Labour veteran who had worked under Tony Blair. Doyle was seen as a safe pair of hands, someone with deep roots in Labour politics, and his return when the party was still in opposition was supposed to steady the ship. But now, with Driver gone, we're left wondering whether the problem lies not with the staff, but with the environment inside number 10 itself. And this isn't an isolated incident. Just days ago, Starmer's Director of Strategy, Paul Ovenden, also resigned after damaging revelations emerged from old messages dating back to 2017. Two senior resignations in such a short space of time is not just coincidence. It paints the picture of a government rattled, struggling with internal discipline, and possibly dealing with tensions that aren't yet visible to the public. Starmer, for his part, tried to strike a warm and respectful tone in his response. He praised Steph Driver as a loyal and valued member of his team, someone who had been by his side for almost 5 years. He credited her with helping to transform the Labour Party, rebuild its brand, and ultimately secure Labour's historic election victory. He even spoke of her calm, wise counsel, leadership, and humour, clearly trying to soften the blow and prevent speculation. Driver herself also released a glowing statement, calling it an honour to work with Starmer through opposition and into government. She described being part of the rebrand and revival of Labour as an achievement like no other, and made a point of praising the number 10 press team and the Prime Minister personally. She ended with a promise of unwavering support for Starmer's government moving forward. But let's be honest, these polished statements are exactly what we expect in these situations. The official line is always gratitude, loyalty, and mutual respect. The real story, however, is in the timing and the pattern. Why would the Prime Minister's most senior communications advisor, someone who has just been appointed, step away at such a critical time? Why would two of his top advisors resign within days of each other? And what does that signal to the wider Labour movement, to Parliament, and to the public? Remember, Starmer came into office promising stability, professionalism, and control, in contrast to the chaos of his predecessors. But with high-profile resignations stacking up, he risks looking like the very thing he warned against, a leader whose inner circle is crumbling before our eyes. The resignation of a Director of Communications is not a small matter. This is the person responsible for defending the Prime Minister's image, spinning government achievements, and firefighting scandals before they erupt. If Starmer is losing trusted allies in this position, it suggests real instability inside his government, no matter how carefully the official statements are worded. So while Downing Street tries to downplay this as a simple career move, the truth is it couldn't have come at a worse time. Starmer faces enormous pressure both at home and abroad, and the last thing he can afford is for his own team to look fractured. This resignation blindsided number 10, and the questions it raises aren't going away anytime soon. In other news, Sadiq Khan has lashed out at Donald Trump, calling him racist, sexist, misogynistic, and Islamophobic. He told broadcasters that the public will be wondering what it is about this Muslim mayor who leads a liberal, multicultural, progressive, successful city that means I appear to be living rent-free inside Donald Trump's head. He added, When people say things, when people act in a certain way, when people behave in a certain way, you've got to believe them. Sir Sadiq pushed Sir Keir Starmer to challenge Mr. Trump more, saying he is wrong in many areas. Donald Trump hit out at Sir Sadiq at the United Nations on Tuesday, saying, "I look at London, where you have a terrible mayor, terrible mayor, and it's been changed. Now they want to go to Sharia law, but you are in a different country. You can't do that." On Air Force One, Mr. Trump said, "Khan is among the worst mayors in the world, and we have some bad ones. I think he's done a terrible job. Crime in London is through the roof. The mayor of London, Khan, has done a terrible job. And on immigration, he's a disaster." The US president told Bev Turner aboard Air Force One that he did not want Sir Sadiq at the state banquet. The timeline of Sir Sadiq and Mr. Trump's long feud dates back a decade. Mr. Khan, when he was running to be London mayor, described the US president's campaign pledge to ban Muslims from the US as an outrageous policy. When Sir Sadiq was elected as mayor, Mr. Trump said he would make an exception for Mr. Khan, believing his appointment was a good thing. The London mayor labelled Mr. Trump's proposal as ignorant, telling the BBC, "I think Donald Trump has ignorant views about Islam. It is not just about me. I don't want to be the exception to be allowed to go into America." Protests took place when Mr. Trump arrived in the UK on his first state visit, with the infamous Trump baby balloon being flown. The US president said Sir Sadiq was doing a terrible job in 2018, a phrase that Mr. Trump would repeat multiple times in the future. In 2019, the London mayor called Mr. Trump a racist and a growing global threat, to which the US president responded, labeling Sir Sadiq as a stone-cold loser and very dumb. When Mr. Trump became the president for the second time, Sir Sadiq claimed that Londoners would be fearful about what it would mean for democracy. In 2025, Mr. Trump labelled Sir Sadiq as a nasty person who has done a terrible job, but noted he would still visit London. Sir Sadiq's office responded, "Sadiq is delighted that President Trump wants to come to the greatest city in the world. He'd see how our diversity makes us stronger, not weaker, richer, not poorer." Perhaps these are the reasons why a record number of Americans have applied for British citizenship under his presidency. The long-running feud between Sir Sadiq Khan and Donald Trump has become one of the most enduring political rivalries of recent years, stretching back more than a decade and showing little sign of easing. What first erupted over Mr. Trump's proposal to ban Muslims from entering the United States has since grown into a sustained exchange of insults, accusations, and starkly opposing worldviews. For Mr. Khan, the former US president represents policies and rhetoric he sees as divisive and dangerous. For Mr. Trump, the London mayor embodies a political stance he derides as weak and misguided. Over the years, their war of words has touched on immigration, crime, diversity, and the very identity of London as a global city. Despite the repeated hostility, Sir Sadiq has often used the feud to underline his own values, framing London as a progressive, multicultural success story in contrast to the vision painted by Mr. Trump. The president, meanwhile, has shown no hesitation in doubling down, describing the mayor as incompetent and unfit for office. As both figures continue to spar well into 2025, the clash has become more than a personal quarrel. It has come to symbolize a deeper ideological divide between two very different brands of politics. And with neither man backing down, this bitter transatlantic rivalry looks set to remain a defining subplot in their respective legacies. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.